Hello, welcome to my channel. As you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll see that I'm attempting to pass my LGV Mod 1 theory and hazard perception and my LGV CPC theory. Then I'm going to go on to the driving. Now at this moment in time, quick recap, I've been revising and I passed my hazard perception and CPC theory for my hazard perception and my driving theory mod 1 before Christmas, just before we went into lockdown. I managed to get 96% on my theory and 91% on my hazard perception. If you've seen previous videos, you'll see that I wasn't too impressed with the hazard perception, the way it you had to click at the right time to get the result, and not to click too early and not click too late, and it was concerning me quite a bit. On the test day, that was my biggest fear. It turned out to be poorly ill-founded, because the actual test was probably a lot easier than the online revision that I'd been doing. So the way I'd gone about it, I started doing, I did a mock test to see where I was up to, and that gave me a basic idea. What I'll do, I'll shut my screen down now, so don't go anywhere, but I'll shut this down and I'll go on to my test papers. Right, this is the LGV mod 1. Well, pull it up here. I've so far done, on this page it shows you, I've got 3 days revision time left until my CPC mod 2 theory, so I'm revising hard for that with the case studies. I've done a total altogether of both mod 1 and mod 2 103 theory tests, and I did 29 hazard perception tests before my hazard perception physical test, or how can I put it, classroom test in the test centre. I was doing, on the run up to my test, I was doing 1 test a day hazard perception, 1 test a day theory. When it got to a week away from my test, I upped the ante and I started doing 2 theory full mock tests every day and 2 hazard perception tests every day. Like I said, that got me through that test. My results on here, progress over time, hazard perception was not too good some days, and you're always getting these low scores down here and what the hell's going on. And then I seem to get a bit better on the run up to me test, and my progress over time, my theory, was sort of bobbing along just above or on past level right the way through. So I'm going to use the same techniques on my CPC. Let's just move that out the way. Move that out the way. The results for my, nope, we're still on the wrong page. Home page. I can't do that now. Where's that? That's in the way there, and I can't move it. That's good. That was the way to do it. We had to pause that so I could move that out the way. Now I can hopefully change this to my mod 2, and we'll go on my results from my mod 2. Progress over time, And again, that's now on. I can move it now. Hey, move it anywhere. Right, okay, put it out of the way down there. Right, so I didn't touch me CPC mod 2 until I'd passed me driver theory mod 1 and my hazard perception, which were done on the same day. Then I thought we'll have a look at the CPC, and with no revision I was right down here, bottom of the class, 20% score. What the hell's going on? I didn't recognise any of the terminology. I didn't know what the abbreviations meant, what the documentation was for driving abroad. So I started revising again, same idea. I did one a day and I was sort of getting better. I read through, I'll just go on to my theory there. I read through all the CPC training videos. I read through one section every evening to get me an idea of what was going on and the weight limits. I took notes on bits I thought I'd struggle to remember. Calculations, axles, indicator, vehicles over 3 meters must have that. Rigid body up to 12 meters. Road train 18.75. So I made notes on 16.5. Drew little pictures because I find it easier to remember. And I gradually worked my way through all of this, making notes on everything. And I started doing one CPC test every single day until I was a week away from my CPC exam. Go on to next, and it goes on. There's pages and pages of this, and so after my initial results being down here, I spent the next 3 or 4 days reading through one section at a time, and at the end of that I was sort of getting a bit better and not so good, but I stuck at it. On the week previous I started doing 2 tests every single day. Each test was taking me about half an hour, one in the morning, one in the evening, and I was getting up to a level where I was continuously above the pass mark. Then we went into lockdown. Good old Mark Drakeford put Wales in lockdown, stopped all training, stopped me test literally days before I took my test. So this now took us through to after Christmas. After Christmas, Brexit rules engaged, and all the wagons were having trouble crossing borders with paperwork not being right, and I didn't know which exam I was going to be taking. There was no information out there anywhere. I was emailing training places. Nobody knew what was going on, whether to carry on revising what I've been doing here, whether to revise the new documentation which wasn't out yet, or where to go. So I did nothing. From basically January, when I went into lockdown, until we came and I'd got a test date, and I got my test date literally 2 weeks before my test. So I started all over again, and as you can see, beginning here, wasn't doing too good, occasionally doing okay, getting pass marks. So for the first week I was doing 1 a day, and then for the second week, which I'm on now, I've been doing 2 tests a day, and I'm starting to climb up again. Fingers crossed, this is what's going to get me through my test, is doing 1 hour a day, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoon, doing mock tests. Right, I'm back with you. Let's do some random practice sessions so you can see what's going on. So we'll start session. I'll leave the sound turned off. Can we move this out of the way? Oh, No, we can. Oh, yes, we can. Okay. Now, Paula drives a 3-axle tanker for a company which distributes petrol, diesel, and heating oil on a national basis. So it's a national basis. Her current vehicle has only one load compartment, so there's one tank. Although based in West Wales, Paula drives all over the UK. Again, UK only. Paula has 4 on 4 off work pattern, meaning that the actual days worked vary from week to week. She often drives between 9 to 10 hours each day. Okay, what is the purpose of the yellow trims on the front wheel nuts of the lorry? So we've got those yellow trims there, and they indicate the movement of the wheel nuts. Correct answer. They cover any noise coming from squeaky wheel nuts. They help keep the wheel nuts clean and free from rust. They are purely decorative. Check answer. It's correct. Right, on to the next. What letter marks the mandatory item of safety equipment shown on the vehicle picture, which must be fitted because the vehicle carries petrol, diesel, or heating oil? No, it's probably D. That's mandatory, and the thing here, it's safety equipment. So it's not, it needs placards front and rear, it needs a code there, but mandatory safety equipment is the important thing. Wheel nut indicators, side mounted hazard plates, rear mounted fire extinguisher, front mounted hazard plate. It's the fire extinguisher because it's fuel. Correct. Next. The vehicle in the picture displays a placard on the tank. How many such placards must the vehicle display? 2. One on the rear and one on the offside. 4. One on the front, one on the rear, one on the offside of the vehicle. 3. One on each side of the vehicle and one on the rear. 2. One on each side of the tank. Not 100% sure because you keep seeing them on the back of vehicles, but I'll go for that. I'm not sure if it's mandatory on the rear, it could just be mandatory on the sides. Correct, it is mandatory on the rear, you need 3 of them. Lucky. Which of the label area codes contains the emergency action code on the placard? So A is the emergency access code. That's the symbol that's in it. That's the emergency action code is A. Final answer A. Correct. Paula was delivering petrol to various garages in South Wales area this week. She will be going up the coast to deliver heating oil to premises near Aberystwyth. What must happen to the first tank? It must be washed out with water jetting equipment. It must be emptied of petrol. Nothing. It was emptied after his last delivery. It must be purged of its previous load. It needs all the previous load purging out of it. There we go. And on that one, we scored 100% with 5 out of 5. There's lots of random practice sessions. Mock test is a total of 50 questions. That normally takes me about half an hour. If this is of any use to you, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel, helps everybody else, gets it visible, and I'll keep you up to speed with how I get on. Fingers crossed. I've got 3 days left till my test now, and it's getting exciting. See you soon.